Hey everyone, this is smpratte, and today we're going to talk about the current state of Pokemon sealed product. Right now, as of recording this video, this is by far the worst time for English sealed product that I have ever experienced in 15 years, both vintage and modern. Nice little caveat before we get into this 10-minute rant. The Japanese side is like a nice oasis. Like, there's not really many reseals, not really that many bad buyers. Like, a Japanese resealed modern box is like an oxymoron. So the Japanese side of things is like this nice chill paradise where things are all good. But over in English right now, it's the worst it's ever been, both for vintage and modern. Right now in vintage, you have more reseals than I have ever experienced. And that is heavily exclusive to the vintage side of things. You don't see it as much in modern because the value's not there, but for vintage, there's a lot of people trying to walk the stuff out of the closet, put some G.I. Joes in there. If I want a G.I. Joe box, I'd buy the G.I. Joe box. I don't want the G.I. Joe cards blitzkrieging themselves in my base set box, but you're getting a lot more of that. And it didn't really track with 2020. You know, you would think because all the hype that this stuff would be very parallel, but you're seeing more vintage reseals today in the past year or so than you did in 2020. So it's a very recent thing. And a lot of people are torn, like they're picking petals with the new policy that a lot of these auction houses are dropping. You know, a lot of them, if you aren't aware, a lot of these auction houses are trying to open up boxes, reseal them, and put their little sticker on there to verify that it's the real deal. But that's contentious. Even for me, it's like, I don't want you to open up my WotC box. Like, I want my 1999 glue to be on that box. I want that seal to still be there. Like, I want that, like, 1999 dust to still be on my WotC box. So that is a contentious issue right now. But again, it's happening today because there's so many more reseals. You know, a lot of these auction houses are having to cover themselves because they're having these losses because people are submitting these boxes through them, and boxes are the hardest things to authenticate. You know, when you look at a trading card, it's a lot harder to authenticate the card stock, the rosette pattern, especially when you get into the vintage era. A lot of that stuff is pretty much impossible to replicate, where the seals for all the, you know, the scumbag Pratts out there and the 420 Blazikins, you know, it's a lot easier for them to go and do that in their scumbag factory, you know. So that's what we're experiencing right now in vintage, is a lot more reseals. I mean, you have stuff that is very, in my opinion, it's very convincing, you know, even to some of the experienced stuff. And then you have, of course, like the Pokechloe fossil box that had like, that is by far one of the craziest just fakes from top to bottom. It was like fossil spelled with 3 S's and 2 L's. Like, that thing was like fossil box. Like, that thing was just awful. So outside of Chloe's like Fissile box, you know, that's one of those that you really didn't see as much either. You know, going back, especially pre-2020, you barely saw reseals. It was not a normal thing. It was very, very infrequent. But with that said, the vintage reseals are still a minority. It's just a little bit more. You know, when you go from 1% to 2%, that is doubling, but it's still a very small minority. Most boxes are still fine. Now, jumping the fence into modern, if that wasn't enough tea for you, getting into modern's the opposite. You have the largest amount of reverse scams I have experienced at any point in time. I'll even go further. I'll be super dramatic for you. Modern English sealed right now is the absolute worst category in the history of Pokemon. It has the highest rate of speculation and or reverse scammings. And I'm going to go through stories here and tell you. So reverse scamming, what that means is people who buy something and try to say, oh, it's not as described. They try to finesse the whole eBay return system. It's a bunch of like Charizard Baller 69s, 420 Blazikins who are trying to, you know, just finesse that item not as described. I've had boxes from Team Up, multiple evolutions, all the way to the beautiful E4 meme Steam Siege. People saying it was resealed. Now, if a Steam Siege box is resealed, we are truly living in a simulation. If there are people out there, if Team Rocket is truly resealing Steam Siege boxes, gravity does not exist. Like, it's all a lie. Like, none of it's real. So the point I'm getting at is these people are reverse scamming, and what they're doing typically is a buyer's remorse strategy where they're trying to finesse the eBay return. And to give you a couple details here on some of these examples or these experiences I had people opening up packs. Like, some of them even opening up half the box and being like, oh, I don't think it's authentic. It's like, okay, so you didn't get the Charizard and now you're trying to return it. So I'd be like, okay, can you send me some pictures of the cards? Can you send me some pictures of what you think doesn't look correct? Of course, no pictures, because they know the second they do that, the case is over. So these people know what they're doing. And for me, I was naive because I don't sell a lot of modern English sealed that often. You know, I do consignments every single month. And typically I consign for a lot of the same people, and one person in particular would send me a handful of boxes every month. And why I'm starting to grin is because they worked directly with TCPI. So it couldn't be any more ironic. Like, you're getting boxes literally from Pokemon TCPI, and they're going up at auction. And it's just like, you have people that know exactly what they're doing in modern English because there's so much speculation. I've talked about this in Patreon over and over again. And what happened, in my opinion, from 2020 is I had more buyer's remorse than some of the WotC Chase cards. You know, people bought at the high and then they weren't making the money they wanted to, so they opened up a buyer's remorse claim. A lot of those people, because WotC's not easy to make money on now, have migrated into modern English sealed. And that's because modern English sealed has the lowest barrier to entry. Kind of going back here to Japanese. Japanese is over in another world. You got to get online. You got to make more clicks. You got to know what you're looking for. You know, you can't read the cards, right? That's the meme. But with English sealed, it's at Target. You know, after you get your vape, after you get whatever it is, your vape refill, you can just pick up an ETB on your way out. You know, it's right there in the store. It's right there in the gas station. You know, it's right there whatever you're doing. So there's no barrier to entry. Even smpratte via middle school budget, you know, at any point in time could afford like an ETB or some packs or whatever. Lowest barrier to entry equals the widest pool of people. You get everybody. You get everyone. You get everyone from the Pokemon professors out there, the people in the grandma house, all the way down to the people who just started collecting today. That's one of the big reasons why this is happening. It's this migration of speculation from WotC that was easy to do in 2020. Now the easy thing to do is modern English sealed, buy it, flip it, rip it, dip it, whatever, get the stonk card, hold it, do whatever you want. And it's not to say that like this is all bad. Like all this product's great. It's not dissing the actual product. Like it's all, this is why it's happening, is because it's so good. Like people have fun with it. That's why there is this like culture, this toxic culture going on. It's because there's a lot of organic interest. But the bottom line is these people know exactly what they're doing. There's people in Discords. I even posted this on E4 sharing this because I was like, hey, heads up, like this is something I've been dealing with. When I say every single month, from January till now, as recording this video in August of 2022, I have had either the immediate win cancel buyer and or the winner who eventually does the buyer's remorse and says, oh, this doesn't seem authentic. Again, boxes from TCPI, some of them even like only a couple $100, like resealed Steam Siege. Like you can't make these memes up if you tried. Like that's the silver lining here, is the beautiful like memes that we get from all this. This is like Wagyu beef. This is like A5 tier beef of memes. Like it's just chef's kiss. Like the memeage from this is, I guess, really the true winning that we're getting out of all this. But the bottom line is these people know what they're doing. It's something I've never seen before. I've never seen this intense strategy to like reverse scam, and it's explicitly in modern English. And when I made that thread on E4, a lot of people chimed in and said, yeah, this is why I don't sell this stuff on eBay anymore. I've been selling it through whatever auction house or wherever else because I'm tired of dealing with this nonsense. And I'm naive because I didn't mess with this stuff. I only consigned and sold, you know, through a lot of the people I consigned for every month through Patreon, because otherwise I don't really sell a lot of the modern sealed English. You know, I usually just hold it for a while, just open it for fun. So yeah, this was all a new experience for me, but the bottom line is by far the worst it's ever been. And the other point here, you know, outside of, you know, the speculation drift or migration, there's one other big point. If you stuck around, if you're still here, almost 8 minutes into the rant, Logan Paul's video. That video put this false fear into everybody's mind. You know, these people who buy an Evolutions box, they've been in the game a couple months, like their feedback's like 10 or 8. Like I think one of the buyers had 8 feedback. And it's like they have this paranoia because they probably saw the G.I. Joes blitzkrieg into the base set, and you know, they think that, oh yeah, this is gonna happen. But in reality, when I'd be like, hey, show me the cards you pulled for Evolutions, of course they don't, because they don't want to show me that the cards are real and that the ratios are all there and that it all makes sense. So we're in a weird place now where I think not only do you have like these scumbags out there who are finessing, but also you have people that have this false fear that like their Steam Siege box is somehow resealed because there's like a little, you know, bit of plastic on the end of the seal that's very common or something. You know, they get paranoid because of that one video. And that one video is literally the biggest argument from exception. Like most situations, both vintage and modern, are not going to be that. Objectively, mathematically, when you quantify it, the amount of Evolutions boxes out there that are sealed versus resealed, not even close. It's easily 99% of them are more than fine. Easily. You know, so that's the takeaway here. But the bottom line is that video, I think, made a lot of people who are new, scared. And I think it also probably stoked the flames for some of the scumbags. They're like, oh, wait a minute, I can do that? I can get away with that? Or I think I can get away with it? You know, I don't know what Team Rocket thinks, right? I don't know how these guys think. I don't know what gets them up in the morning. You know, I don't know how Team Evil operates, but I'm sure for some of those people, they see it as a way to like make quick money or finesse somebody. And, you know, I saw the other day some sports guy open up a box. It was like 15K and it was just a dud. Like it was a resealed, not even sports pack. Some Austin Powers is what it was. He opened up a 15K sports box and he got a yeah, baby, looking back at him. Like he got Austin Powers looking him back in the face there. So, yeah, that's something that's happening. Not only, I think that's more to the Logan Paul effect. Like he's got insane reach. And he didn't intend for it to be that way. Like it's just because his video is so popular that, again, hits a wide audience. Kind of like when you talk about no barrier to entry for modern English product, hits a wide audience, just like the Logan Paul video hits everybody. So, of course, it's going to hit some of these scumbags out there. And, you know, that's why I think you're seeing this is because of those reasons of the hype. It's easier to do the sealed stuff today and because of the Logan Paul video. And the thing I want to close with here for a solution, the savior for all of this, because it can be fixed. The savior at the end of the day is you need an authenticator. And in my opinion, I think eBay Authenticity is primed to be the best one. If not them, PSA can be the best one. Now, caveat, obviously, it's an opinion. Just like when you buy an autograph, it's an opinion you're paying for. It's not going to be 100%. It's not as, to me, it's a lot. If you ask me as well to do this job, I would say I feel more confident in authenticating this Professor Oak right here and telling you this is the real deal. I don't feel as confident with sealed. I can do it sometimes, but I don't feel as confident. People have offered to fly me out, pay me good money, whatever, pay my tickets and all that, give me a little stipend to authenticate the first boxes. I never take it because, you know, there's just more risk involved. But bottom line is that opinion is worth something. You know, you at least have some level of confidence there. And if eBay handled it, that would eliminate all these reverse scams overnight. Because again, most modern boxes are not being resealed. Like, keep it real. Most modern boxes are not being resealed, especially coming through reputable people. Like, I'm billing boxes or through CCPI employer Rusty's, you know, doing his thing and selling boxes or whoever it is. It's like, it's different when it's like Blaziken 420 is on their third alt account and they've changed their name 5 times and they have private feedback. You know, that's a different ball game, but it's just that it would be the solution here. You need that eBay authenticity. And again, it's not going to be perfect, but it's at least an improvement. You know, that's the takeaway. Like eBay authenticity, let's give them a little shout out here for the graded stuff. Beautiful. It's a thing of beauty. Like, I wish all my cards go through them because you don't have to worry about the headache. You don't have to worry about the buyers being like, oh, I don't agree with the grade. It's like, well, I didn't grade it. So I'm sorry. Like, I'm not PSA. Like, I'm not getting those fat checks. Like, I'm not getting the cut from the constant revenue stream. So until that day comes, like, I can't, you know, control the grade. So the bottom line is that authenticity guarantee is a nice middleman that I think is the best solution that we could possibly ask for. So I hope something like that happens with vintage, sealed especially, and modern English would overnight, it would fix it overnight. Where with vintage, it would take a little more work because vintage is harder, higher values. But ultimately, you get a better assessment. You know, PSA would know more. They're not BBCE. They're not like we got duped. Agreed. They're not going to give you one of those. You know, I think they would have enough expertise to give you a better assessment. But yeah, it would be an opinion. It's just an improvement because right now, anything is better than what we have. You know, right now it's just rough. I don't think a lot of people are happy with their boxes being opened. Yeah, you get authenticated, but you lose the box. Like, right? Isn't that the whole point? It's supposed to be sealed. I don't want it sealed with even me. Like, if people like me, I don't think people want it resealed with the smpratte, whatever. You know, I don't even want that, and I'm smpratte. Like, I don't want to reseal it. I want the Watsy 90s dust on there. Like, I want all that. I want the whole experience. Like, I want the original smell. I want all 5 senses to work directly, and you know, just have the sealed product that I bought. So there it is. That's what I have for the current state of the market. It's a tough one. Like, this is inherently a negative. And I've had these experiences now for the whole year. You know, I posted that thread in E4, and a lot of people chimed in and said, yeah, this is why I have stopped doing modern seal for a while now. And it's exclusive to English. And it's because of the high speculation. You know, again, I collect all this stuff. I buy all this stuff all the time from beginning to today, all the time. It's not about the product itself. It's obviously really fun. If anything, that's why all these scumbags are migrating here, because there is all this organic interest and they're trying to take advantage of it. It's specifically about what I highlighted, these type of individuals who are operating in this space that is really, really frustrating. It's never been this bad. I've never experienced anything close to this. Like, nothing. Nothing is coming. I'm to the point now where I'm so cautious with modern English sealed because it's just a waste of time. You know, why would I be selling a Steam Siege box that I get maybe 20, 30 bucks on the cut, you know, after it's all said and done, and I have to go through this headache of someone claiming it's resealed, you know? So yeah, that's the current state. Hopefully, you know, I explained it with the Logan Paul video influence and, you know, the migration of speculation and, you know, the solution of eBay authenticity, I think would really help. But as usual, guys, you know the deal. Let me know how I feel. Hopefully this is a fun one, nice juicy one. A lot of tea in this one, but there it is. You know the deal. Till next time.